Welcome to Hitman Boxing. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So Errol Spence beat Kell Brook tonight, took his IBF strap, and it's on the bigger and better things. And if you're a really big Keith Thurman fan, you probably want to end this video right now because it's about him. Now, shortly after winning the fight, Keith Thurman, went over to Twitter and he typed up a little, little message for Errol Spence saying that basically, and I'm just paraphrasing here, to beat a man, you got to beat the man, right? And Keith Thurman feels that he's the king in the welterweight division. And, I can go ahead and agree with that for now, Keith Thurman's top dog. We can't say Pacquiao's top dog because he ain't really fighting nobody, right? So Keith Thurman is the top dog, and he's basically calling out Errol Spence, even though we know that's not what he's really doing. He's just talking right now and getting his name out there because, his fan base is, not as big as, others might be, But, his fans on YouTube are, pretty loyal, and they stick up for Keith Thurman at any chance they can, right? But here's the thing. Errol Spence tried to get this fight with Kell Brook, and they were negotiating, and, it took him months and months and months to get in the ring with Errol Spence. With Kell Brook. And, tonight he finally got in, and he beat him. He stopped him, right? So, if you think Kell Brook was bullshitting trying to make this fight, what do you think Keith Thurman's going to do? What do you really think Keith Thurman's going to do when it comes down to fighting Errol Spence? Now, we know Errol Spence and Keith Thurman are not going to fight next. That's not a fight that's going to happen. Listen, Keith Thurman fought Sean Porter. Then he went to Danny Garcia. Do you really think he's going to fight Errol Spence next? No, I doubt it. The thing with Errol Spence is he's got to stay busy. He took a long layoff prior to fighting Kell Brook tonight. I'm wondering if that had a little bit to do with his performance early on in the fight, but, it is what it is. He still won the fight regardless. And he said it himself, he gave himself a B-. As far as Keith Thurman is concerned, he's got this, I'm just going to say it, fuck it. He got a fake elbow injury because I ain't seen no medical reports. I haven't seen any medical records. All I see is his elbow, His makeup artist did a hell of a job on that elbow. Whatever. He's injured, okay? But this is the same guy who was calling out Manny Pacquiao and was trying to get a fight with Manny Pacquiao, knowing that he had to get some surgery on his elbow, right? He knew he had to get surgery on his elbow, yet he's still calling out Manny Pacquiao. I find that rather fishy, right? So what? Keith Thurman's supposed to be on the show for 6 months? Okay. Now, we know Keith Thurman's not going to fight at any point for the rest of this year, so you can go ahead and throw that pipe dream away, okay? Keith Thurman's a liar. He's not going to fight this year. So what, 6 months of rehab, and then, give him 3 more months to bullshit. We're probably not going to see Keith Thurman back in the ring for another year, so around this time next year. And when he goes back to the ring, I'm sure he's got a mandatory. When it comes to the WBA, I know that Lamont Peterson is his mandatory, and then for the WBC, who is it? Is it Sean? Yeah, it's Sean Porter. So Sean Porter is his mandatory for the WBC. Okay, so let's say next year he gets back in the ring. He starts negotiating with Sean Porter, and he fakes another injury after this elbow injury, just like he did last year with the car accident. He said he got into a car accident, had some sort of micro tears in his shoulder or something like that, right? That was a fucking lie. He never produced any medical records, nothing. At least this time he's showing us a photo of a fake surgery. Oh, let me stop saying that. At least this time he's showing us pictures of a surgery that took place, right? So cool. We'll give Keith Thurman the benefit of the doubt now, okay? Because he's got a decent resume now. He got he got some good names on his resume, so we can't overlook Keith Thurman. Now, I do think he's afraid of Errol Spence. Do you remember that last interview that he had on Showtime? And they were asking about Errol Spence, and he started stuttering and sounded like he's scared and shit. So, we don't know. We don't know what Keith Thurman's going to do when he comes back. I don't think we're going to see Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence anytime soon. Just because Keith Thurman has other obligations. And he could use that to his advantage to duck and hide from Errol Spence. Okay? Now, imagine if a fight between these two did take place. You automatically think that I would say that Errol Spence wins that fight easy, right? Well, I don't know. I don't know if Errol Spence beats Keith Thurman that easy. I do know that Keith Thurman's a midget, and he's a little guy, and I know that Errol Spence is a lot bigger than him, but we got to remember one thing about Keith Thurman. He likes to get on his bicycle and run away from fights, you know? He likes to start off fast, and then, you know, he starts coasting for the rest of the fight. So I would imagine that he would use a lot of movement against Errol Spence, and that seems to give Errol Spence trouble, right? Now, tonight, obviously, Kell Brook was literally standing right in front of this dude, so he was there to be hit tonight. But, you know, Keith Thurman can move around. He's agile. He's athletic. I'm pretty sure he could hurt Errol Spence. I don't think Errol Spence has well, I guess I got to take that back. He does have a good chin. I mean, Kell Brook is a hard puncher, and he got hit with some shit tonight that may have dropped a couple other dudes in the welterweight division, right? But Keith Thurman, I mean, I don't know if he could even hurt Errol Spence. I know he's gonna have Errol Spence tired. We don't know if Errol Spence can cut the ring off against Keith Thurman, but you know, he showed some really good traits tonight against Kell Brook. Good defense. I don't know. Keith Thurman's just a really awkward fighter, and you know, I would think that he would have to wear Keith Thurman down and slow him down so he could, you know, continue that body attack and then, you know, go up to the head and just drop his ass. That could happen too, but we don't know. We don't even know if this fight's ever going to happen. We just know that Keith Thurman's talking at his ass, talking about some, you know, you got to go through me because I'm #1 at welterweight and all that bullshit, right? But we'll see what Keith does. Keith one time. When was the last time he had a knockout? I don't know. You know, I guess it wasn't that bad talking shit about Keith Thurman. You know, he does it to himself, man, faking these injuries. And, you know, I understand you had to get surgery and shit, man, but don't be calling out Manny Pacquiao don't call out Manny Pacquiao knowing that you need surgery on your elbow. That's all I'm saying. And besides, Manny Pacquiao not fighting none of y'all anyway. He definitely ain't fighting nobody under Al Heyman. And he definitely ain't fighting no Errol Spence. That's not going to happen. So, Spence, you need to just go ahead and move away from Pacquiao and just move away from Thurman because he's not going to fight you anytime soon. You know, find you a IBF mandatory or something. Danny Garcia probably wouldn't fight him either. I don't know, you know. Who knows? We don't know what's going on. We gotta go back to the drawing board and chill for a bit. But I expect the war of words between Keith Thurman and Errol Spence to continue. Of course, Keith Thurman's going to chat that shit because he's injured right now and thinking that, you know, that injury ain't going to heal. But that's just going to heal one day. And when that shit heals, then he's going to have to make a decision that's going to affect the rest of his life. When it comes down to those belts that he holds, if he fights Errol Spence, he might have to say goodbye to him. Hitman Boxing, drop a comment. Let me know what you think about Keith Thurman's statements on Twitter. I've left the post in this video, so you guys let me know. And again, Hitman Boxing, congrats Spence, man down. Next up, Thurman, and I'm out.
You niggas steady ignoring greatness. A pallbearer what you need when I come undertake it. This hostile takeover by the chill hover. I got the blueprints, I really do this, so move on over. Stay in your lane, nigga, stay in your lane. You steady running at the guns, but fucking suck at the game. Ain't it a shame? It really is. My words evoke fear. I teach you lessons that'll have you breaking down in tears. Call me Joe Clark with a baseball bat. Chaining up the doors and spelling all these niggas from rap. Cause they kill your brain cells, son. How don't you see it? They steady brainwashing you and then repeating, but 'tis the season for chill waves. I bring about change, but not Obama, cause this nation I will never claim. I got my sights aimed at the top spot on the chop block. underrated. You niggas steady ignoring greatness. A pallbearer what you need when I come undertake it. This hostile takeover by the chill hover. I got the blueprints, I really do this, so move on over. Stay in your lane, nigga, stay in your lane. You steady running at the guns, but fucking suck at the game. Ain't it a shame? It really is. My words evoke fear. I teach you lessons that'll have you breaking down in tears. Call me Joe Clark with a baseball bat, chaining up the doors and spelling all these niggas from rap. Cuz they kill your brain cells, son. How don't you see it? They steady brainwashing you and then repeating, but 'tis the season for chill wage. I bring about change, but not Obama, cause this nation I will never claim. I got my sights aimed at the top spot on the chop block.